Now the second round has come to a close. That swimsuit battle was amazing, right? It was truly a blessing. It was truly dazzling and beautiful seeing our idols clash in the pool with their body and wills. Hisune's swimsuit was top notch. The top was notched off. Swimsuits sure have a certain charm about them. I have reconfirmed just how excited I could get from seeing our idols wear a few scraps of cloth. Everyone in the audience, are you not entertained? In response to the hostess' query, the audience replied with their honest impressions. I am complete. My life is fulfilled. Now then, we can't stand here and reminisce about their swimsuits forever. Let's move on to the next event. Hey, what are we gonna do, Host-chan? Tsukikage, who was the closest, bounced up and down as she asked that. The idols had already finished changing their clothes and were lined up on the stage. The goal of the next event is to thoroughly examine our idols. Ooh, to what extent? The last competition was quite fast-paced, so you could think of this as a palate cleanser. So, how exactly are we competing? Just a moment. Before I get to that, could I ask you all one thing? What is it? Something important? That's right. It's an important, or should I say, essential part of this competition. Now tell me, what are girls made of? What is this out of the blue? What do you mean, what are girls made of? Is this a quiz or something? The idols started to ponder their hostess' unexpected question. Among them, only Tsukikage energetically raised her hand. Host-chan, pick me, pick me! Oh, okay then. Tsukikage, our contestant. I can't believe none of you know this. Before answering, Tsukikage shot triumphant looks at the other idols. Don't keep us in suspense, Tsukikage. Spit it out already. It would be shameful if you got it wrong with how confident you're acting. Lame. I get it already. After Chrome and the others grimaced at her display, Tsukikage cleared her throat as she interjected. I'd like to say something like cute frills and ribbons, but the correct answer is sugar, spice, and everything nice, right? The fucking Powerpuff Girls, baby. I learned that when I was little too. That's true. Sugar, spice, and everything nice, and then a little bit of, what was it? Spice X or something like that? He spilled something extra into it which created the Powerpuff Girls. Tsukikage ended her line with a wink and a smile, showing off just how confident she was in her answer. Exactly! It was in a nursery song as well. Well done, Tsukikage. I am a pure maiden after all. Tsukikage smiled once again and puffed up her chest with pride when she learned she was right. Well then, moving on, contestant Tsukikage. What comes to mind when you think of everything nice? Huh? Let me think. I don't think she expected this question to go deeper. It's like, yeah, I think that answer will be enough, you know? Sugar, spice, and everything nice. I didn't know he was gonna ask what everything nice is. This time, Tsukikage stroked her chin in thought. I guess, money? Money is nice? I mean, sure, money is nice to have, I guess. Tsukikage, you're quite enamored with money for someone who calls themselves a pure maiden. I mean, you know, her outfit is green, you know? So, it makes kind of sense that she'd like money probably, right? Because she liked the green, she liked the money. Who cares? It's not like it's a bad thing. What about you guys? If we take it literally, then wouldn't everything nice be something beautiful? Something colorful? What about flowers? Sarifa and Chrome discussed it amongst themselves while AI muttered something. Love, maybe. The host didn't fail to hear what AI said. Right, contestant AI! That's exactly right! Huh? What's right? What you just said just now. Love? Yes, that's right. For this next round, you will all be expressing the love part of everything nice. Ooh. Huh? What? Hey, are you for real? They're like, ooh, what could this be? Because how do you express love? You can do it in, that's very broad. How is this exactly gonna go? AI and the other idols and even the audience raised their voices in surprise. Love is something every girl cherishes. Even for idols, there are no exceptions. And amidst the sea of idols out there, I'm sure there are people who are in love with their idols. But the chance of realizing that love is as minuscule as coming across a stardust fragment in space. So I say, why not grant them their wish? The audience suddenly sent out a barrage of enthusiastic comments. Hooray! What do we say? What are you saying? That's something we aren't allowed to do. Sarifa and Chrome spoke out in confusion. Yes, I'm sure you all know that this is a taboo, which is why this will all be make-believe. In other words, you wish for us to act out a loving relationship? Am I correct? Yes, that's right. Wait, so they have to pretend to be in love with each other and act like they're in love? And the person who acts the best, or just the most likable with the way they act while they are in love, wins? And there you have it! The third match will be a confession competition, where you will realize your love. Ah, okay. It's specifically focused on the confession part. Ah, okay. Confession? But how will we do that? Slightly taken aback, AI raised her hand as she tilted her head. Yeah, don't tell me we're gonna have to confess to you to get our points. Right, Host-chan? Although that's extremely appealing, unfortunately that isn't the case, cause let me guess, the girls are gonna be confessing to each other. First, I will have you all draw lots, and that will decide the costume you'll be wearing and the situation you'll be in when you act out your confession. This is kind of like role-playing, right? Or improv, yeah, exactly, kind of like improv. Like improv class, you get a location, you get like the occupation maybe of like the character that you're playing, and then a conversation topic, in this case confession, and then just scene, start, roll. Everything besides that will be prepared by the officials on the spot, so feel free to improv however you want. So it's kinda like we're in a play. In a manner of speaking, yes. You could overwhelm us with your acting ability, kill us with cuteness, or even move us to tears. Anyway, your goal is to open your heart and profess your love. So, how do we decide who wins? There'll be no winners or losers for this round. It will simply be a matter of who can get more points. Hey, Host-chan, what kind of outfits are there? I want something cute. Tsugikage's eyes sparkle as she focused more on her outfit rather than winning. Overall, there are 6 types of costumes and situations. There are outfits you are all familiar with, up to and including maid, ooh, nurse, ooh, princess, ah, and schoolgirl costumes, yay! We also have the more uncommon Demon Lord and Battle Suit costume. What the fuck? that just seems so weird compared to the other 4, like nurse, maid, like, you know? So those are more typical, and then Demon Lord. Battle suit. I mean, maybe Demon Lord. If you like, what I envision with Demon Lord is probably more like succubus. I guess that can be, you know, kind of sexy or something. But Demon Lord does not describe it in a very, you know, sexy way. Demon Lord? That sounds like a monster, a boss in like Diablo or something, you know, or whatever other RPG game. Battle suit costumes. Well. I'm surprised you managed to compile such a vast array of clothes for all of us. But there's an extra one. That's right. There isn't really a sense of randomness or unpredictability with just 5, so we added one more. I feel a little bad for the costume that no one picks. In that case, it might be interesting to have all of us wear the one relegated to obscurity. Higitsune came up with an idea as she looked over the costumes. Higitsune-san, that would just be group cosplay. This is a festival. It plays right into the mood. Also, I'm sure you would look stunning no matter what costume you wore. Higitsune used both of her hands to make a rectangle as she connected her index finger to her thumb and used it to frame Sarifa. That's true. No matter which way you frame or picture Sarifa, she would always be beautiful. I'm not some kind of dress-up doll. Looking slightly troubled, Sarifa twirled her finger around her own hair. Sarifa? Haha, looks like you have quite the cute side yourself. I believe that makes you a pure maiden as well. Higitsune-san, could you not say anything that might be misconstrued? Sarifa turned away from the two of them, as though her feelings were slightly hurt. Now, since I've finished introducing the costumes, could I have you all draw your lot? You will draw 2, One will be the costume and the other will be your acting order. The lot for the costumes has a chip inside of it. The inside of the chip contains data regarding your costume and the scene, so employ it during your acting. After that, Chrome, Sarifa, AI, Higitsune, and Tsukikage drew their lots in that order. Alright, looks like everyone has drawn their lots. May I ask who drew the first one in the acting order? Oh, here, it's me! Tsukikage jumped up while raising her hand. Well then, contestant Tsukikage, please tell us your costume. Well, mine is a nurse outfit. Voices of approval rose from the console. Yeah, now there's a winner, Nurse Tsukikage. Woo! Tsukikage, I'm having trouble breathing. I need a nurse stat. Heal me, Nurse Tsukikage. Thanks, everyone. I'll make sure you guys fall in love with me no matter what. Yes, please, by all means. All the other idols walked off the stage, leaving Tsukikage by herself. Now then, contestant Tsukikage, let the third round, the confession competition, begin! As the command was given, the lighting on the stage dimmed. Wow. In the late-night hospital, my sigh filled the room I was in. Unfortunately, the reason for my sighs wasn't because of some kind of poetic reason like the beautiful night sky. A more serious and grave problem took precedence. Oh, it's not like I'm tired from working the night shift, or I'm a newbie nurse that's just whining about her problems, okay? Not saying that to anyone in particular. I waved off my reflection in the window. Damn, look at this. Nurse Tsukikage. Oh my god, heal me now. I need healing. I'm like fucking Genji right now. I need healing. I'm just spamming that right now. Well, maybe some of that applies. Is that so? Huh? Yeah. As I tried to turn around, something pushed against my side, and a tickling sensation caused me to cry out in surprise. Hey, Miss Nurse. Good evening. Who is that? Seriously? Again? Feeling my face heat up from shyness and embarrassment, I started to protest against the usual culprit. Is it Firefox again? Just think of it as a greeting. Thanks for the meal. You're welcome. Like hell! You should really cut that out. Snuggling up to me is sexual harassment. Yeah, don't worry. I don't do it to anyone but you. That's not the problem here. Hey, calm down. It's just some friendly physical contact. Showing no concern for my anger, the patient laughed happily. By the way, Miss Nurse, have your sides gotten a little softer? This is none of your business. Whenever I talk with this patient, I always get caught up in his pace. He was a patient that was admitted to his hospital a while back, and he's the reason for my sighing. He would sleep all day long, which apparently meant he couldn't sleep at night, and he would often appear during my night shift. What a smooth guy! He changed his sleeping schedule just so he could see this nurse and be with her during her night shifts. Occasionally, he would try and make a pass at me, just like this. He has a very aggressive approach though. It's not my style personally. At first, I warned him, like it said to do in the manual that they give to all the new hires. You know, just in case. I feel like that must be a very somewhat common occurrence if nurses, newbie nurses are like given warnings, you know, or just like it's part of the manual guide, just like, by the way, if a patient ever tries to, you know, hit you up or something like that, you know, try to put the moves on you, this is what you have to do, this is how you reject him. But ever since I learned that he was seriously ill and had to undergo surgery soon, I found myself refraining from such. I'm not the one in charge, so I'm unknowledgeable, but apparently it's life-threatening. He probably takes walks out this late because he's worried, I think. After learning that, it wasn't long before my mornings deviated into having conversations. And like that, What's wrong? You've been doing nothing but sigh for a while now. Yeah, well, I couldn't say that it was his fault. More importantly, it's bad for your health if you go on all these late-night strolls. Seeing that not even the slightest hint of remorse lingered on his face, I gave him a verbal warning. So the patient is just like a random actor, I guess, who plays the scene out with her. I guess that makes more sense than if it were the other girl, right? Because you're only judging Sugikage in this scenario, and if she was, for example, you know, confessing to Chrome or any other girl, that might influence the way that they score Sugikage's confession or performance, right? It's much better if it's just a random actor that nobody really cares about. That way everyone will be focusing on Sugikage and her confession. So I guess that makes more sense. Seen that, blah blah blah, read that. Well, just let it slide like you always do. Although, you know, this patient is a lucky mofo. As I gave out my last piece of ethical resistance, he ignored it with a single wink. So, I'm sure you're slacking off again, right? What do you mean by that? This is an official break, sheesh. With an exasperated look, I turned away from him. I knew it. Whenever I look at his face, my heart starts beating faster for some reason. Is that so? It is. Don't say things that might be misconstrued. I see. Well, do you mind if I join you? Not really. Do what you like. Oh god, this is gonna be a tsundere-esque confession, isn't it? I mean, she has the Su part in her name. Sukikage, tsundere. 3 letters match at least. The heat from before returned with a vengeance as my cheeks turned a little hot. I took a step away from him, as if to brush him off. Thanks. Excuse me then. He then quietly moved next to me. Actually, all he was doing was looking out the window at the night sky. That's all he did, but I felt embarrassed as my body unintentionally shivered. Paying no mind to me, he looked up at the sky. Yep, today the moon is more beautiful than normal. Led on by him, I turned my gaze towards the outside as well. Isn't that kind of a compliment at her, you know? Because she's lunarscape, something with the moon? You're right. It's so beautiful. Like, if you could just reach out with your hand, you can touch it. As I truly felt that, I reached out towards the moon with my hand. Huh? Yeah. Can you touch it? For some reason, he shot me a puzzled stare. What's wrong? Oh, don't tell me there's something on my face. You got a half-crescent moon on your face? Flustered, I started to touch my face. No, that's not it. I was just a little unexpected from you is all. Unexpected? Hey, I think the moon's pretty like everyone else, you know? You're right. Sorry. He then laughed awkwardly. Seriously, what's with you? You're the one who said it first. You're kinda acting weird tonight. Seeing him act kinda cute, I laughed a little. Engaging in banter with him on occasion made me happy. Hey, by the way, have you heard? About what? About the bird? No, don't, I'm not even gonna finish that. I'm not even gonna finish that. People know what I'm saying, or what I wanted to say. Whenever he wanted to change the subject, he would always say that. Whenever the conversation would veer towards his illness, something dark, or an otherwise uncomfortable subject, he would always forcefully shift the flow. There's this anecdote about this old writer in Japan. He apparently liked this Soseki person and happily talked about him. You see, the things he talked about during his tenure as an English teacher were really interesting. Miss Nurse, how would you translate "I love you" into Japanese? Isn't that easy? Just a direct translation of "I love you" would work, right? He didn't mean anything by it, but hearing him say those words and then reiterating them to him was pretty embarrassing. Yeah, some of his students at that time said the same thing, but he gave them the wrong translation instead. He told them that a Japanese person wouldn't say that, and he taught them to say, "The moon is beautiful, isn't it? Really?" So that would actually be really funny. Imagine if you're like a language teacher for a language that's not that commonly spoken in the language that you live in, and then you just teach them like the wrong translations of everything. That'd be kind of funny. They're like, all the students, they pass their course somehow because they don't check whether the teacher gave the right translation or not. Let's just skip over that part, right? But just imagine they taught all wrong, and the students are like confident. Oh yeah, finally going to Japan on vacation, And then they, they like, alright, I'm so confident in my Japanese speaking ability. And then they just make a fool out of themselves in public when they try to speak it. That'd be kind of amusing. What's with that? Never mind the literal translation. That's just a plain mistranslation. Haha, that's true. It's something that wouldn't happen nowadays. He agreed as I tilted my head. But why did he teach them that translation? I was curious as to why he had replaced love with the moon, and I wondered what he was thinking when he taught his students that. Yeah, I think he probably experienced a lot of things up until then. Maybe he wanted to teach them the grace they should have as a Japanese person. There's plenty of ways to translate it correctly, but I think he didn't want them to forget that. It's what they call keeping the spirit and intent, I think. I like things like that, and I think they're very important. Is that so? As I listened to the patient, my eyes naturally turned towards the moon. Grace, huh? I don't really get that stuff yet, and I don't really have time to learn. Being a nurse is hard work. There's no blaming you for that, I think. He's not sure. Hey, are you trying to comfort me, or are you giving up hope? Well, I meant the former when I said it. Fine. I'm just a rude nurse anyway. Pouting, I turned my gaze back to the moon. What's happening? Isn't she supposed to confess to him? It really sounded more like the patient was on the cusp of confessing to her. I thought because he said like he was talking about the moon, and then he made this like comparison, or he told the story about his teacher. Instead of I love you, he said like the moon is beautiful. I thought the patient was like about to confess to her, but wouldn't that kind of defeat the purpose? I'm pretty sure she's the one who's supposed to confess, right? I mean, it's something to sulk about, isn't it? It was like I felt that if I was utterly ungraceful, then I wouldn't be able to get him to pay attention to me. Sorry, don't get so angry. I'm not mad at all. I didn't feel like troubling him anymore over something that wasn't his fault. And there was something I wanted to ask him. Hey, I was wondering, what would the response be to what you said earlier? The response? Yeah, if the moon is beautiful, isn't it? Means I love you. Then how is the other person supposed to respond? Yes or no would be too direct for your query, right? Yeah. Well, you're right about that. For some reason, he averted his gaze. It seemed like his cheeks were slightly red at a glance. What's wrong? Oh, don't tell me you're feeling sick. No, that's not it at all. The truth is, there's a variety of responses one can offer. If you're going to say yes, then arrgh! What the hell was that? It was like a arrgh! Before he could say anything else, the patient suddenly clutched his stomach. Oh no, he's dying! His condition could be worsening. Hey, are you alright, huh? I tried to rush up to him in a panic, but at that moment, I haphazardly tripped on something. Yeah, it doesn't hurt? It was supposed to be a straight drop to the hard tiles on the ground, but something else intercepted my fall. Phew. It's supposed to be the nurse catching the patient, isn't it? His voice was closer than usual, as if it was coming from beside me. A familiar face was looking directly at me, too. Huh? Don't scrub around so much. It feels really nice, but it's making me feel like I should pull a little prank on you. Sorry. Feeling my butt suddenly being touched. Damn, the patient's going for the butt. My body recoiled in the patient's arms. You sure gave me a big discount today, nurse. 2 handfuls. Oh, seriously? I was really worried about you too. Did he really fake that? Damn, smooth. As my face turned red from a mix of embarrassment and happiness, I repeatedly beat on his chest with my hands. You baka! Yeah, sorry. Scratching his face, he apologetically forced a laugh. It looked like he was repenting. So, you were holding your stomach back there. Are you okay? My stomach was just a little cold. Don't worry. Let's talk a little more. No! What are you gonna do if it gets worse? Go back to bed for tonight. For the first time in a while, I sternly scolded the patient. Besides, if you're gonna have surgery, you need to make sure to build up enough strength, you know? Huh? You knew? Huh? I heard a rumor. I see. Then better get back, or else you won't let me off the hook. Yeah, that's right. You should go to sleep. That was close. I think I managed to play it off. How about it? If it's too hard to walk, I can accompany you back to your room if you want. No, the pain mostly vanished, so I'll head back by myself. Besides, it'd be big trouble if you fell again. Yeah. Alright. Good night, Miss Nurse. Yeah, good night. He gingerly disappeared into the back of the hallway. And like that, the night where he talked more than usual came to a close. Where the fuck is the confession? The next day, I was working the night shift at the hospital as well. Damn, they're like stretching this out as much as possible. they're acting, playing out multiple days now. I thought it'd be like, you know, very short scenarios, like less than 5 minutes or something, you know? Where they're just supposed to build up to this like cute or funny or romantic, whatever the fuck, just a confession, you know? But damn, they're like role-playing this to the utter limit. Hey, Miss Nurse. Good evening. And again, as always, he came by tonight. He smiled, but his bad complexion betrayed him nevertheless. And he was rubbing his stomach as though he wasn't feeling well. I guess he really was feeling ill, since his usual attempts at sexual harassment was nowhere to be seen. Yeah, you can tell he's really feeling bad if he's not grabbing my butt or boobs randomly, you know? You're walking around again. Your surgery is scheduled for tomorrow, right? Unlike last night, I offered some genuine concern by scolding the patient. So you did know. Well, you're right. Didn't I already say last night that I knew? He scratched his head in embarrassment. I don't know how to explain it. But I just felt like I should see your face while I still have the chance. Huh? Once the surgery is over, I might not be able to see you again. I wanted to make sure to say farewell. Why? Why is he saying something like that to me? And with that smile. Don't tell me he might die tomorrow. Is that why? Is that why he wanted to say farewell? Seeing him like that, I couldn't bear it anymore. If I'm gonna regret it anyway, then I'll just take a leap of faith. But when I opened my mouth, fear started to encroach upon my mind. I funneled all my hopeless feelings into my strengthening gaze and directed them at him. The moon appeared before me, larger and rounder than it was last night. Hey, the moon is beautiful, isn't it all smooth? I thought they were working up to something like that. She confessed to him. She used his words against him. I like that. Bravo, bravo. Hearing the words, I said to change the subject. His eyes shot wide open for some reason. What's the matter? That's quite a cute way to do it, right? And before long, he slowly closed those wide open eyes. Yeah, it is. I wouldn't mind if I died right now. He said that with a gentle expression. Don't say something like that! After blurting out those words, I hastily silenced myself. Why not? With a kind look, he waited for me to continue. Don't talk about sad things like death. If something like that were to happen, just imagining it was enough to turn on the waterworks. I gave it a lot of thought before saying that. But, did it make you sad? Of course it did. This is a hospital, and I'm a nurse, you know. Don't speak about death so lightly. Sorry. And I want to talk to you more. Of course, I don't mean on just nights where the moon is beautiful. I want to talk to you, always. And that means my mouth had started to move, and my feelings, they couldn't stop, and I wouldn't let them. I love you. I want to be with you forever. I said it. I said it, good job, she finally did it! Yes, Sugikage! What should I do? My heart, it's pounding away like a war drum. I see. I felt like I might collapse at any moment, but all he did was laugh, as though he was troubled. Can you give me your response? My confession could be a bother to him, but I had to ask him. Surrender wasn't an option. Well, of course it's a yes, of course. Who would say no when they know they're about to die and get confessed to by a dying, or not a dying nurse, a cute, loving nurse, you know? Anyone would say yes. Hell, even if I was married, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I love you too, girl. His answer was a simple and happy one. Thank goodness. Feeling so happy and relieved, all the strength left my body. Oh jeez, some of my tears came out. But you really are passionate. I didn't think you'd come out with it after that exchange. I don't really get it, but if you don't express your feelings, then they won't be heard, you know? You're exactly right. I'll make sure to keep that in mind. So, since we finally became lovers, how about we talk a little... No! We have surgery tomorrow, right? You need to make sure you get to sleep. Honestly, I wanted to talk too, but I had to bear with it here. If you want to talk, then there'll be plenty of time if the surgery is a success. Huh? Yeah, that's true. Alright, next time, it'd be nice to talk during the day. Right, so it's good night for tonight. Got it. Good night. Yeah, do your best with your surgery. I saw off my lover as he slowly walked away, and I prayed for the surgery's success and for his survival. Damn. That was quite a sad confession, you know? It had everything. It had a sudden confession, it had kind of a smooth confession, right? There was emotions, sadness, the possibility of death is still there, right? Oh my god, the next day, it was around the time when his surgery should already be over. I wonder if he's alright. Oh my god, he's dead, isn't he? If I looked up the outcome of his surgery, I would instantly know the result, but for some reason, I didn't want to do that. Because deep down we know he died. What if it went badly? It wasn't like that thought didn't go through my head, but since I prayed for his safety, I wanted him to break the news to me. I want to meet him already. Thinking about that all morning had probably left me in a daze. As I pushed along a medication cart, I unconsciously arrived at the usual place. But no one was there. Oh god, she's there during the day? Instead of the moon, the sun's rays shone down on me. You're not gonna try and touch me today? I always got really mad at you, but since it's today... No, because it's today, I would have welcomed you with open arms. Yeah, my butt was waiting for you to grab it. Really? Then don't mind if I do. He made it! In tandem with that voice, an arm came out and pinched my side. Yeah, what the... As I jumped, the inside of the medication cart rattled. The culprit's usual smile behind that touch greeted me when I turned around. Damn, we even get a happy ending, yes! Hey, Miss Nurse. Nice day. His healthy face smiled at me, and he raised his hand. Huh? How? Is it okay for you to walk? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine now. What kind of surgery was it? If it's like a major surgery that could possibly kill him, I'm pretty sure you're not able to, walk around the next day. Like, I had my stomach cut open once, and I was in a hospital bed for an entire fucking week. No, longer than that even, a week and a half, 2 weeks. They removed what they had to, and I'll be able to leave as soon as possible, depending on my progress. But wasn't it a delicate surgery? Not really. But the person in the bed, or the next bed over, had something like that. He was too nonchalant to be lying. Then, what did you mean when you said you wouldn't mind if you died? Oh, that's one of the responses to, the moon is beautiful, isn't it? Hey, wait, don't tell me. You didn't know? What? Wait, so he wasn't even dying? It was just a minor procedure? It was at this moment that I realized that I had misunderstood and jumped to the wrong conclusion. What? Because of that, I said all those things. Oh god. Miss Nurse? It was so embarrassing that I could feel my heart racing a mile a minute. Wait, so the primary reason why we confessed was because we thought he was dying, right? And it just turned out he wasn't dying at all. Like, he probably just got like a vasectomy or something, right? He just snip, just a tiny minor procedure. What the heck? My cheeks felt kinda hot too. But, by the way, Miss Nurse, have you heard? You're so stupid! Give me back all my tears! My screaming and the sound of a slap resounded throughout the hospital. God damn you bastard! You took my confession virginity! Okay, thank you very much, contestant Sugikage. Going along with the material commonly seen in your space, we've feigned a serious story and ended up with a punchline involving a misunderstanding. Haha, brilliant, very smart. I think your performance suited you very well, contestant Sugikage. Hey, I never agreed to this! After her performance ended, Sugikage drew close to the host, puffing out her cheeks. Hey, it's an ad-lib after all. These things happen. Besides, it was very popular with everyone in the concert hall, you know? Just like the host said, the audience cheered for Sugikage, who had performed marvelously. Yeah, that was a pretty good acting performance for sure. She was so cute. Everyone says that they like it, then I guess I'm okay with it. Their voices made Sugikage reluctantly relent. That's good to hear.